Okay, let's go.
What do we all gamers expect from a game? Good graphics, amazing gameplay, a lot of new content that often possible, and very cheap. Also, from a driving simulator game like Euro Truck Simulator 2, we also want a very realistic experience, or closer to the realist possible. As in content, I think the developers from the game don't do a bad job. They release a lot of new DLCs very often possible. And also, we have a lot of support from the community that has a lot of modes created inside the Steam workshop as outside in different websites from the developers themselves. What about realistic driving or realistic gameplay? How do we change that, or how do we improve that when we start playing this game? I will start, let's say, for a beginner and not just for a veteran player also, a hardcore ETS player. I will start with the Driving Academy. Why? Because here you can find some settings that maybe you have missed because you didn't do the tutorial, because you are a hardcore driver, or you are even a newbie and you still don't want to do tutorial because you are a game player since the age of dawn and you know everything that is to be about gaming. But I will try anyway the Driving Academy, because you will have here a lot of settings that maybe you have missed. One of the best settings that you can learn in the Driving Academy is how to set up your cabin, your seat position, your mirrors, and your view from the cabin. If you want to have a realistic gameplay, I think the only way to play or to drive this truck is from the cabin mode. Of course, you can always change the cameras to have a view about the environment, or to have a better view of the place you want to park, or don't know what. But in the end, most of the driving you're going to do from the cabin. And as a game settings are, when you start from the cabin, you have to have a very big movement to check the mirrors. That is one of the most important, is your view, I think, at least in my opinion. So you don't have to use the UI mirrors that the game offers, and you don't want to use the navigation system that the game UI game system offers. You want to use the in the cabin, the track navigation system. You want to use the track's mirrors. So the best is to adapt your seat as how you see it, how it's better for you to check the things that you are around you, or how to check how you play. No, the best thing is to have to do the last minimum movement needed to check both mirrors, and especially the mirror in the right. If you are playing on the Euro Truck cabin mode and not a UK cabin mode, if you are playing a UK cabin mode, then you have to do the last movement to check the mirrors in the left side. Also, it's going to teach you how to position your mirrors. You see, you can change that, what you see in the mirror, and you can put it the best you want. If you want the lower mirror to check the closer object, if you want the upper mirror to check on the longer distance, that is depending on you. But these settings you should definitely check. And where is the best to check is the Driving Academy. No, the Driving Academy. Also, you're going to get a nice villain at the end of all the tests you're going to do. Another good thing about the Driving Academy for a new player is to test the game, to understand the mechanics of the game, to understand what's the game about, to understand if this game is for you, and you're not going to waste 2-3 hours trying to figure out if you're going to be better at driving or not. And after that, when you want to refund the game because you decided actually that is not for you, you'd struggle for too long and you cannot do that. Another thing that the Driving Academy will do for a newer player and a veteran also, why not, for any player that is interested in it, is to see what every mirror is useful for. So for example, the front mirror is useful when you, for example, stay at the red light, or you want to park and you have very limited space and you want to take advantage of everything, and you want to have a realistic gameplay. Because if you don't want that, then you can check that with any other camera, outside camera, you can check even how many grass pieces of don't know how are in the bushes or something like that. But if you want to do it a realistical way, then this is something that you can learn from the Driving Academy. Also, this camera view, by the time you need to park or drive backwards, also is very useful and it helps a lot. Of course, you have a dead angle, but that has also a normal driver in real life. Let's go to in-game settings. The more realistic settings that I have learned watching a lot of videos from other YouTubers are fatigue simulation, checked. Parking difficulty, random. Then you can go after that to your track stability to 30%, your cabin suspension stiffness to 5%, suspension stiffness to 20%, realistic fuel consumption checked. Then you can also put the air brake simulation checked if you want. I didn't, because don't know why. I don't think it affects too much the driving. You just have to wait a little until that goes. Then the most important, brake sensibility to 75%. Then also to help a little with the braking, you can also check the automatic retarder. And you go into the trailer and you put trailer stability to 5%. This for sure is going to make your gameplay much more harder, and you will have to be much more careful how you turn on curbs and how you brake, the braking time and so on. Also, we go to steering sensibility to 0.14 and steering non-linearity to 0.13. That also is going to give you a smoother feeling when you're taking curbs. My graphics settings are as high as possible. I'm playing on a monitor 144 HDR and 300% scaling, and almost everything is high or ultra. These settings is of course possible depending on the gear that you are using. Now, let's go to modes. The modes that I'm using, all of them are from the workshop, from the Steam workshop, so you don't have to do nothing to install him, just subscribe and activate him in your game. I'm using sound fixes by Drive Safely for better sounds in game, and overall the track sounds and the overall environment sounds are improved. The next mode is Realistic Track Physics by FRKN64. One of the mode that I most like is real traffic. The one that I've used is by Chip,
right. And
is one of the modes that mostly impact your gameplay and gives the most fun having.
Right.
And another mode that you surely must have is a graphic enhancement mode. The one that I'm using is by CAS, and you also can find it in the workshop of Steam. if you stop here, as in modes, I think you have more than enough to give a different face to your gameplay, more realism, better graphics, better looks, and much more fun. But if you want to keep continuing, there are tons of mods in the Steam Workshop that you can install very easily just by subscribing. You can choose from a various list of cabin accessories, graphics, new weather, better weather, raindrops, realistic raindrops, don't know, realistic companies, real gas stations, everything. That you can even use some modes that it's going to give you the possibility to carry airplanes or to carry don't know, tanks, and everything that you think of, you have it there. So you have a lot of content for this game. And as you see in the footage, these few mods that I have installed, they give a very realistic view of the environment, of your map, of your truck, of the sounds, of the traffic. And when the weather goes bad, it goes really bad. So that's what I liked also a lot about this weather mode. It changed it very bad. It does give you much difficulty to drive in these conditions. You can use these mods, or you can activate other mods that are similar to this, but practically this is the modes that you should really have, and to give you a better experience for the game, or this type of mods at least. Also, there are a lot of other mods. They are outside the Steam Workshop. They may be even better than those ones, but I'm the type of person that every time when I have to do something like copy paste, zip unzip, and don't know everything, something really bad happens, and then I need to spend another day to undo what I did, and I don't want to do that. So I kind of go for the safe mode, let's say. And also it's a big change, because until like few months ago I didn't use no one single mod. So if you enjoy my video, please give a like, share, comment, subscribe. If you think this mods is going to give you, or my settings is going to give you a better game experience, I will be glad if they do. If not, that I wish you a very good day, and see you next time.
then exit right. Exit right. Turn left.